All right, and we are live.
Yes, we are.
What's up? What's up? We're here,
Yep.
man. This is the first simulcast that we're really doing the nighttime with Ask Bruce Live, and we got Reese Delk over there, and we are hot, heavy Trump supporters. So let me just do a quick opening and go where I normally go through, if that's okay, Maurice.
All right.
So this is, of course, everybody who's there. I want you to say yes, say hello, click, type something in so we know that you're listening, so know that you're there. And with this broadcast, probably I don't know how Maurice can see or what he can see. If he sees questions on there, we'll answer them. But this is Ask Bruce Live. Tonight it'll be Ask Bruce and Maurice Live. So that's what it is. So right. I'm 100% team player, man. In the big world, I'm the most accessible candidate for governor of Florida. And why? Because I want to hear the issues. So tonight we want to hear the issues. We want to hear what you guys have to say. So we want you to click the send message button and be sure to like and follow. If you haven't liked Maurice Delk's page or my page, please go there, like it now, and see what you can do to help, drive people into this world. We're huge and heavy Trump supporters. We're big Second Amendment rights, Bill of Rights. Mm-hmm. We are so heavy into our Constitution to make sure that we are going to be able to hold our country and what our framers were looking for in our country. So with this Facebook, we want you to go to the links. You can go to my website, brucenathan2018.com. You can go to Twitter. You can volunteer for my campaign. Donate to the campaign. All you got to do is click the send message button, follow the prompts. It takes you everywhere you need to go. And I'll do a quick introduction of myself. Maurice do a quick introduction of himself in a second. But as you all know, as a medical practitioner, 22 years, my life has always been about people or patients before myself. And that is why what I did was, in response to 9/11, I joined the military. And so as a 9-year military veteran, I am anti-establishment, anti-corruption, anti-waste, pro-life, pro-Trump, businessman, faithful husband, and father of 6 children for fighting for freedom-loving Floridians every day. And down in this state here, we are going to make Florida great again, just like Donald J. Trump is making America great again. So that's what it's all about down here. Maurice, give us a little love.
All right, and y'all, I'm Maurice Delk, and I was born and raised in the city of Chicago, Illinois, and now I live here in Wisconsin. And make the long story short, I grew up as a rebellious child, rebellious teen, and I was in and out of jail when I was younger. I was terrible, and I was a thug growing up, and I eventually made a transition into my life. I was a gang member down in Chicago, and now I have this passion, of helping the inner city, and I remember doing my whole life, I didn't pay attention to politics. I just was taught that since I'm Black, I got to vote Democrat, and I was taught that. And then it took me about 3 years ago to at least wake up. And when I saw Trump, I loved his policies, how he's put America first. And before that, I said I would never ever vote again after I voted for Obama, because I thought it was going to change. So I was done. And Trump has opened up my eyes, and a lot of this Patriot movement have really opened up my eyes on a lot of things and got me into this. And even though I'm not political, but that's a good thing about it, because this is not about being political. This is about being American and for the people. So I'm here, I'm not just about protesting downtown, protesting at courthouse. I'm about protesting against drugs, protesting against violence in the ghettos. And I'm about protesting against, prostitution. I'm about protesting against the real thing that we need to get rid of. So,
So we are so on the same page. We met first time at MOAR in September. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember that. And it was my pleasure to have met you at that moment in time. And so it was, but that was one of our first driving rallies. That was really big for a lot of us to be up there.
Yes.
Thousands of people. And, it was a really good show of force. It was a good show that we're solid behind our president. And that's why we all went there. So, yeah, go ahead.
It was a blast. And I love what you said. You know what I'm saying? You're not about. It's not about really politics to you. You know what I'm saying? You see, you're not a political chump. You know, and that's why I can click with people like you. You know, instead of just sometimes people can get too political, and they get too political and forget about the real issues out there and start talking in circles, and then people will never understand, especially like the inner city. And we need to stand out for that real people can understand real people, real recognize real. So we got to get with the real issues.
Well, but that's what it's all about, because we are real people. We're not those politicians. We're not those guys that that have run for politics over and over again, that are staying in the office, that everybody knows their name because that's who they are and that's what they do. And that's because Donald Trump got in there, because that's not what we're all looking for anymore. We're looking for people like you and me to become in the world of government, so that we can make those real changes, because we're listening to the people, because we lived with the people. We live and lived. We're this what we are. So that's what I always want to do. I just made an announcement the other day. I was up at Tallahassee for a Second Amendment rally. Okay. And I made this announcement last week also. And because the ideology of having a governor's mansion is so antiquated that we need to get away from that. We don't do governor's mansions anymore. That's from the 1700s. Yeah. So my idea was we are gonna convert this. When I become governor, that mansion becomes a home for the homeless vets. And we're going to convert that bad boy into a home for the homeless vets. We're going to rehab them right there. It's called an 8 for 8. So they're in there for 8 weeks. We get them, rehabbed. We're gonna make sure that there's going to be 8 separate apartments where they can live. They can get themselves cleaned up. We're going to help with them. And then there's a chef that's there 24 hours, 24/7. The chef is going to help them learn to create, make their own foods. They want to become chefs, then we're going to start schooling them in that direction. If they want to become computer technology, we're going to go in that direction. If they want to become mechanics, we're going to put them in that direction. Wherever they want to go and whatever they want to do is what we're going to do, because they have served for us and they are solid for us, and we are going to give back to them. And with that mansion, I don't need to live there. I can live in my own house. And so that's what it's all about. And that's what it was meant for when we originally created. We didn't have any of our framers going to live in special giant houses. They lived in their own little houses. So I'm trying to bring it back to where it was. And I think that's what we all need to do. We all need to look at where we came from and go back there. Go ahead.
Take us back to remember where we came from. Remember where it all began. Remember they started off to make us strong. Remember, they have gave us a head start. Look at our past. You know what I'm saying? Remember where we come from. Yes, we can learn from our past, but we can go ahead and make it even better. We can make it great again. So we gotta, let's reach out to these homeless, the people because they are people. It doesn't matter if you rich or you poor, they are people.
They are people, and for some of these, for this specific program, they are veterans, and so they're just veterans and they're lost. They're kind of like in a little quandary of time that's just kind of displaced them, and that's where we have to bring them back. And I'll have a special team that's going to be out there, not only transitioning them into the mansion, but helping to transition them out. We're going to watch them for the first year, make sure that they get out there on their feet, make sure that they're subsidized, make sure they're getting everything they need. And of course, including and all medical care is taken care of. So that's a must. So that's one of the things that comes along with it. So that's one of my major plans, one of my major policies, because there's no governor, there's no person out there that really wants to care for the veterans like I do. And I think so many people in our country are so for that's where we need to go. So that's one of the major projects we have in the campaign.
And I like that policy, right? By me hearing you say that, right? That like, man, that brings chills to me, man. We need some real people in this office. We need some real people, man. That really cares about not just the country, just cares about the inner city, cares about the poor. I mean, they really say, how people, we care about the poor, we want to help the poor. No, action speaks louder than words, and that's shown by actions right there, by doing that. That's actions, by saying what you're going to do, but you've done it, you're doing it.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, and there's another part. Actually, somebody asked a question the other day, so I'm going to answer their question right now with, so you can hear this other little thing that we've got going on. Education is, as you know, it's gone down in America. The Common Core is crap. And so we've had a huge problem here. FSA went on last week for the elementary school. It's going on this week for the middle schools. My children, they sit out. They have to opt out of these things. I don't let them take these stupid tests because I will not, work with things that are trying to dumb them down. So that's one of the big things with me. So education for me. But somebody asked, one of the questions was from Paula, actually. She was very specific, and she wanted to know what I'm going to do specifically for education. How am I going to make it so that we can make it so that the kids in the classrooms are going to be able to have the ability. Sometimes they need to move around. Sometimes they need to be able to do things at their desk. They can't always just sit still for hours and hours at a time. And I understand that. And this person who's Paula, she's an occupational therapist. So she's looking out for pediatrics kids who just can't make that happen. Now, my son was actually, he wasn't a problem, but he doesn't like to sit around very much. So even in his 5th grade class, the teacher let him stand at his desk. He wanted to be able to stand at his desk. And his teacher didn't mind that. And he's great. And I keep saying about my son, he was just appointed to West Point. So, this is the kind of person that we can bring up if we allow them to do what they need to do within the classroom setting. So I believe in standing desks. I believe in sitting on balls versus sitting on chairs. Actually, in Livia's class, one of my daughter's classes, the teacher brings the balls in there and they sit on the ball so they can kind of rock it back and forth on the balls. And so these are very important things within the education model. But we've just brought on a special advisor. We're going to announce who it is very shortly. But he's a Grammy Award winning rapper. He's a great guy. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. I don't think I'm supposed to say his name yet, but he has put together a specialized education program that combines like hip hop, rap, and education all together. So that people, when the kids are watching these short little ditties of videos, like 30 seconds or a minute, they can learn more in that minute than they can learn in weeks in the classroom because they put it together in their minds of how it works. Because as you know, we know how music combines together to make it so that we can remember things better. Right. And that's exactly what he's put together. So he's going to be a special advisor on our campaign for education. And it's gonna really bring a big stronghold into the state. Because I told him once I'm governor, we're gonna bring that whole teaching module into this state to make it so that these kids are gonna learn, and we're gonna make this state. We're gonna go from number 40 because that's where we are in Florida. We're gonna go. We're shooting right up. We're gonna shoot up to the top 10. I can't say number 1, but I'll say top 10. But that's what has to happen. And I'm sure you see that where you are too. Education has fallen. Fallen fast.
It has fallen. I personally went to a school because one of my old coworkers, he's a 4th grade teacher or something. I went to his class to talk to these there were some bad kids up and they fight, they hit him and all. He's so stressed out. So he called me and said, I need you to come here and talk to the kids. And I talked to him. It's like, whoa. Their mindset is nothing the way our mindset was when we were that age. It's just a totally different generation. They have a different type of respect for their elders than that way they used to. And I'm just like, wow, I'm looking at them like, and so I had a talk with them. I don't know if it did any good, but I had a talk with them. And I told them, you don't want to end up the way I end up before. You don't want to end up the way I seen people, my family end up, or my friends end up. I seen people get killed. And, I tried to get into, I know it ain't gonna, I just want to plant a seed. I know it probably won't help them, but this education, this school system needs to be shaken up.
Oh, no doubt. And that's why I have the solutions. There's nothing I talk about that I don't have an actual solution for. I talk about the veterans, I got a solution for them. I can talk about education, I got the solution. So, I've got something called a 770 pledge, which I've done is making it so that we have 7 key elements of what needs to get done, and they'll be done in the first 70 days. So everything will be implemented, and it's based on the economy, education, judicial, because there's so much corruption, it's out of control. Veterans, security, human trafficking here in Florida is off the charts. Yeah, it's out of control.
You said on that. I was looking on the site. It said Florida ranked number 1 in America in corruption.
Yep,
number one.
Number 1. So it's gotten to be so bad that there's some towns Here, let me give you an example of one county. See, I named the counties too. So there's one county, Marion County. There's a couple of judges there. There's one judge specifically that does a poker game on Saturday nights. Okay, Judge, I don't know if you're listening to this, but man, when I'm governor, I'm coming to your poker game and get you busted, baby. So what happens is he allows other people who are in his court with cases to come in. They come in with a nice $5,000 or $10,000 little cash bonus inside this folder. They hand it over to the judge. The judge looks at it while he's putting that in his pocket. He wants to see who's going to be winning this case. Well, he decides it right then and there before they go back to the court the next time. How do you like that? How is that for corruption? Oh. So, and that's like the old West. I mean, that's so far gone. But supposedly this county, the county itself is so corrupt. It's almost like the mafia owns the county in the world of the sheriff and the judges and the lawyers, and everybody else is below them. The only way you're going to be able to get into politics there is if you're in that little mix of people. So it's really something else. So corruption, just even in that county alone, is beyond belief. So and the reason why I'm running for governor is because only a governor can go in and change this. Nobody else can go in and change this. Yeah. So that's the way it has to be. People go to me, well, why didn't you run for county commissioner? County commissioner, that's part of the problem. So the commissioners around the state, they're all corrupt. So they've been handed money left and right to turn their heads for whatever they want to make happen. So that's the problem. So as governor, I'm telling you, the people, I'm walking in there just like 100 people or 200 people or the regular town people, and then we want things done. That's the guy that's walking in to that commissioner's office Amen. Or to that courtroom and saying, Judge, you're fired. And they're out. And then the state troopers come in and pull them out, bring them to jail. That's what has to happen.
He's not a career politician.
You see, you riled me up, man. You get my passion going. All I gotta do is talk about that corruption. I'm like, man, it's out of control. It's something that's just so heavy in this state, and that nobody wants to do anything about it. So and even our current governor here and all the past governors have let it all go. They've just let it slide. So and that can't happen. You see it where you are too, I'm sure.
Oh, I got some stuff to tell you. Most of my topics be about corruption because I see corruption, so I talk about it. I try to touch it in the inner city people, and so I've seen corruption my whole life. When I say I've seen corruption, I've been in offices where I had people in my family working. So my dad worked up in the office. You know what I'm saying? And I seen stuff behind the office like whoa. And I remember in Chicago, 1992. Chicago was the number one for organized crime. They had gang leaders. Not condoning to gang leaders and said it's okay to be a gang leader, but at least they had a little bit of morals, and it was different gang leaders all in Chicago. And what they did, they locked the gang leaders up for life or prison. Fine, they did the crime, they did the time. And what they did, they took the gang leaders, they switched the gang leaders, like there's one gang leader named Larry Hoover. They shipped them down to Colorado, and then they shipped this other gang leader down to New Jersey. They switched it from New York to Illinois. They actually switched the leaders, and then after that, Chicago went very well. When they did that, I said Chicago crime is going to go up 100 times more. And not look. There's no structure down in Chicago.
How could they switch the people? How could they do that?
Oh, and they done it. They done it because I've been in that stuff. And look, Larry Hoover, he's down in Colorado because it was a threat to it. They shipped him all the way down to Colorado. They shipped this guy named Tuffy all the way down to Jersey. They shipped that Latin King leader all the way down to Colorado. They actually switched it. It was a New York leader up in the prison up in Chicago. He had no authority down there. It's just like what's really going on?
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so everywhere you turn. See, that's why Trump is having such a hard time, because it doesn't matter how you turn your head 360 degrees all the way around. It's corruption everywhere you look.
Yeah.
So if you're just tuning in right now, just so you know, you're looking at Reese Delk, and he was nice enough to come on the show with me, and I'm on with him, and we're doing a show. So we're doing my Ask Bruce Live tonight. It's Ask Bruce and Maurice Live tonight. So we are here just to kind of get to know each other so you could get to know us and get to know what each of us are here for. And that's to try and make it so that we, the people, can uphold the Constitution of the United States and help our president as much as we possibly can.
Yes.
So, because that poor guy, now he's got some porn star, getting all this stupid idiocy. I mean, I can't believe she hasn't had anything going on for 20 years. So then she has to try and pull this. But this is what people do. This is how they try to get their 15 minutes of fame, go back in there to get whatever. I don't know. If I was the president, I think I would try to shut this whole thing down. I don't know. I think too much has gotten to be, it's gone too far. So
it's a game.
It is.
Political stuff is a game. That's what the political stuff is. We got to know not to fall into these political games.
Oh yeah. Well, not a lot of people know, but the governor of a state has more power than the president of the United States. So the stupidity that our poor president has to put up with I would never tolerate any of this stuff. If a federal judge decided to rule something against even my president, I have the power as the governor. And let me tell you, the other governors that are around the states had this power, and they could have done this for the president. So I have the power as the governor to take that federal judge and escort him out of state lines. He no longer lives here. So I can do that as a governor of the state of Florida, as a governor of the state anywhere. Nobody seems to know what the governor's power can be to try and protect their people. That's why the governors were given such powers, to be able to protect the people as a whole. That's the idea. And we haven't done that for a long time because money changes hands. And the money, the root of all evil, is making it so that we don't do anything about it. So I'm not the guy that cares about the money. I'm the guy that cares about the people, just like you, right?
It's about the people. The people. We the people. We the people are the American people, and we the people need to rise up, and stand up against the ones that don't want to be the people. We need to stand up. We need to rise up together. This country's too divided. There's too much stuff going on in the Patriot movement. I've seen people jumping off the Trump train. I said, you know what? Don't, even when you get discouraged, keep on pressing on.
No doubt. Now you got behind you. You got the 3%er. You got the 3% flag. Explain to everybody what 3%ers are and how important that is to us.
Man, it's important to our country, and man, you got two different type of 3%ers. You know what I'm saying? You got other 3% that really ain't 3%, but you got these other 3%ers. We are for the American people, and we the ones who love this country. We support the the Second Amendment. It's about protecting our country. And it goes deeper than this, man. That we go on and on.
Oh yeah. No, the 3%ers. When I was at that rally in Tallahassee, and one person said there, how many people here are 3%ers? I could tell you the whole crowd went crazy because they were all 3%ers. So you have to understand how powerful that is in our country. That's part of our original times. It comes back from the original constitutional days. It's just that's just how important it is. So when people tell you the 3%ers, they're for the American justice system, they're for America. So that's what we're here for. So America, how it was formed with the 10 Amendments. And I've always said, I tell people that the 10 Amendments and the 10 Commandments, they go hand in hand. This was a divine intervention, and this was done on purpose, because this is why we have what we have. Those two tens are so important. And if we got together, we're able to make it so that we could live by both of those principles, we wouldn't have any problems in this country at all. So all by itself, we could get rid of all the rest of the amendments that are up there after 10. So because they were just made just add-ons, as far as I'm concerned. I think because nobody wanted the 16th Amendment, which is taxation. Who wanted that one? The only ones that wanted that one was the government. So the government voted that one in. We, the people, didn't vote that one in. That wasn't for us. And it goes on and on. So all these different things that came in became amendments. That wasn't what our original framers wanted. So, and I don't know if you know, but because I wrote a book called Senator Who, and on my book I was doing some research on the Bill of Rights, And I didn't know this until I actually read it, but the Ninth Amendment was actually supposed to be the amendment that was going to free the slaves. They were going to free the slaves with the Ninth Amendment. And they didn't, because they felt it wasn't going to pass. It wasn't going to make it through. It wasn't the time yet. So they had to make it about civil liberties. So that's what they made the Ninth Amendment about, versus what it was going to be. So it took, some more years, a little less than 100 years to come along, and then finally get that passed through. So, that's and Abraham Lincoln, of course. So, but that's, it's the sign of the times of the way things have to happen. Here at the sign of the times is, if you don't have somebody who's going into office, if you don't have somebody who's going to go in and be tough and not nice, because I've got a lot of people who are running against me that are nice. If you're not going to go in and be tough and stand up for your principles, then don't even go. Get out of my way, because we got to go in there and we got to clean house. The swamp is worse than ever. And we found this out when Donald Trump tried to go in there and clean the swamp, because he's having so many troubles just because nobody wants to listen to him, because he's not looking for the money to be passing hands. He's looking for the people to get what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Wow. Yes. It's like, there's so much chaos. It's bad. It's bad in that office right now. I mean, it's terrible. And you got these rhinos up in there, and you got the Democrats. You got this a lot of stuff up in there. You got the politician, period, that's in there is trying to corrupt this country. And it's just like, man, you got a lot of negative conservatives. It's like wow, it's in a lot of chaos right now. And that's why it's up to us to just hold it together, y'all. Hold it together. We don't expect this movement to be perfect, through the good times and the bad times. We got to hold on, y'all. We got to hold on. It's going to be some bumps and bruises in this Patriot movement. Because it's going to be a lot of, I'm saying it's going to be a lot of people stumbling, but we got to keep our head up to the sky. We can't keep wandering in the wilderness, because if we keep on having our heads spinning, we're going to be stuck in the wilderness forever. Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. And, it's down here, the president came down here today, down to Miami, and he was doing a speech down there. Not a speech, he did a roundtable. But, it's very, a couple of chairs over from him was head rhino himself, Marco Rubio. And so, and nobody down here in Florida likes Marco Rubio. He became the senator by default. So, because there was nothing else there that anybody could vote for that was going to be Republican. So that's the only reason he stayed. And he's just a power-hungry guy who wants to go to the next level anyway. So, and Donald Trump actually made a nice compliment about him, at the table, which I was kind of shocked about, but because it was such fighting back and forth, and even when he's in the Senate, he doesn't vote for everything that Donald Trump goes for. So I'm a little shocked that Donald Trump even wanted to have him there, but I guess it was a whole political thing. So, but that's the whole thing. You have to be able to stand strong. Stay with the people that are going to support you. And so that's what we look for Donald Trump to do. But that's what I look for people to do for me as well, is to be able to stand strong on my campaign. I've got a dynamic campaign with 65, 70 volunteers. My outreach is global at this point. I've got one video that's out now that's got like 140,000 views. I mean, it's really. This is what it's all about. It's about bringing it back and be a fighter. And so, Maurice might not know this about me. I've done Krav Maga and MMA. I did that for a period of time in my life. And so I'll get thrown to the ground. I can get back up. I'll go. I mean, physically, I can get thrown. I get back up. It's a mental aspect. If you can do it mentally and physically, then you can do it no matter what, no matter where. So that's what it's all about for me. So I generally think of things more in the intellectual stages. But if it gets physical, I'll go. That doesn't matter to me. So that's the whole deal. And that's what we have to do. That's a person who's going to be the general in the war of corruption. And that's what I am. I'm the general in the war of corruption, because nothing is going to stop me from taking down all of these corrupt judges, county commissioners. Doesn't matter where you are. You can't hide. I will find them.
I better vote for this dude. Tell you. Yeah. Look, if y'all tired of these career politicians, if y'all sick and tired of being sick and tired, come on. Like Trump said, what the hell we got to lose? Come on. Let's just, these politicians has failed us.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They have totally taken our lives and made it into what they want, and they're molding their lives around us, not around us, around themselves. So, and then they put this bubble around them where we can't even touch them. So that's part of the problem. So that's why I like to make myself so accessible to the public, to be able to, they can text me, they can email me, they can message me. I'm a regular guy, and they always will be able to. So that's why the mansion is not going to be where I live. I'm going to have satellite offices around the state of Florida. So I go from one office 1 week, the next office, the next office. People come in, make appointments. I want to see people. I don't know, where Tallahassee's all the way up in the top panhandle of the state. Nobody wants to go up there to see the governor. But would they come to Tampa? Would they come over to Stewart, where I live? Would they come to Orlando? Everybody will come. Everybody goes to Orlando anyway. So that's what has to happen. You have to have a governor that's willing to go around the state and be willing to meet the people. Come have coffee with me over at Dunkin' Donuts or some place that's going to hang out and have coffee with 10 or 15, 20 people. That's what you got to do. That's how you're hearing the people and knowing what's going on. You got a problem with this over here? Come tell me about it, and let me see how I can fix it. I'm not going to fix it in a year. I'm going to fix it tomorrow. Because time is ticking, and things are happening. So if somebody comes to me that's got a problem, I'm going to say, hey, that's a problem. And I'm going to have somebody that's probably right next to me saying, listen, I need you to call this person and call this person. Tell them I'm coming over. Tell them I'm going to be there tomorrow. So that's the way things have to work.
Yes. You see something broken, go ahead and fix it. What? You have a landlord. Hey, you're going to fix that right away instead of just let it pile up. Fix it.
So what are you going to do when you go to, because you said you're going to go to the nasty area of Dearborn.
Dearborn, yes.
I mean, really, that is the world that will never happen in Florida under Bruce Nathan. That's 100% guarantee. I'm closing sanctuary cities. That's something like that needs to just go in there with the National Guard and say, clean it out. That's it.
Yep. It's a crap hole, like Gary, Indiana. Crap hole. It's a crap hole.
Yeah.
And we got to reach out to these crap holes, y'all. The crap holes. Right. We got to reach out to them.
Right.
Crap holes. They need our love and support too. I'm just saying, we got to help rebuild these crap holes,
Oh yeah. Well, we don't know. I personally, I don't know how it got to be like that in the first place. How it got to be so entrenched where you don't have English writing up there anymore. All you have is Arabic writing and no English. I don't know how that happened. So that doesn't happen in America.
No.
So something happened along the way that was wrong. Probably some money got paid off. Usually that's the way it goes. And then they got to have this little area. And I'm not sure who the county commissioners are now in Dearborn, but it's probably who we don't want to have county commissioners. And that's wrong. We can't. That's the beginning of a tumor. That's a tumor. That's a cancer tumor growing in America that has to get taken out. It's got to get cut out. So I don't know how to do it because it's not my state. But I can tell you, and the governor of a state, this state right here, that will never happen.
You heard? That won't happen. It's like it's a lot of stuff have happened behind closed doors. Why that have happened, and we, and that's why I asked the people that's in the Democratic plantation. I call it Democratic plantation. That's in a Democratic plantation. Pay attention what really happened. Why the hood the way it is? Why your state the way it is? Won't you do your research? I mean, won't you just use your common sense and see what really happened? Is what is still happening? Stop being part of the problem. Stop blaming things on the white man. Stop it. Let's just get out there, because a lot of the Democrats, a lot of the liberals are enabling the Democrats. Like I always say that Black Democrats are not liberals, but the liberals enable, the Black Democrats, keep them in poverty. And, it just takes common sense to see what's going on. Yeah. And I'm tired of holding things back. I held this back for many years, and I've been more outspoken with it more than ever. Go ahead, I don't want to say too much.
Well, that's where we need to be, and that's why that's why you work with Will Johnson sometimes, Marco Gutierrez. I'm sure you know him as well. So all these other people who are on the same train that we're on, and we're trying to bring America back to where it's supposed to be. So anyway, let me just tell everybody before we go. Volunteers, we need volunteers. Jump on, click the send message button if you want to become a volunteer. If you have any questions for me for next time, for tomorrow, I'll be on tomorrow, and you can hear me tomorrow. But we need crowds. We need people to get events together. We need people to make phone calls. As many things as we can have happen. Social media. If you only have 10 or 15 minutes a day, that's fine. People go on social media, as Maurice knows. You go on there, you share things, you get to know people, and that's how everything spreads. And it's a good spread. That's what we're trying to do. That's where we're trying to work these things right now. So, but it's all about clicking the send message button and going to all these prompts and doing what you got to do. Mm-hmm. We also have fundraisers. If you can put together a fundraiser, people who become fundraiser captains, if you whatever fundraiser you put together for my campaign, you get to keep 10% of whatever money's made for the campaign. So that's a great deal, and it's cash back to you immediately right after that fundraiser event is over. So it's a quick thing. It'll get you some money back in your pocket. The political opponents, they don't care about those kind of things. They've got millions and millions in the bank that's been given to them from all the establishment garbage. So, or all the corporations that want them to turn their heads for the wrong reasons for us. So you can't go with that. This is we the people. This is for the people. This is the people helping out the people. If you come into my campaign, fundraise for the campaign. If you can't do any of those things, then of course donating is the next greatest thing. Because even what I'm going to tell you right now, I meant to say this earlier. If you donate $17.76 tonight, $17.76 tonight, the first 25 people that donate $17.76. You like that number there? No, Maurice, it's $17.76. Bringing it back. Yeah. $17.76. You're gonna get. I've got the second edition T-shirts coming out, so you're gonna get a second edition, not the first edition anymore, because they're done. Second edition T-shirts are coming out. When you do the $17.76 donation, make sure you put your address in the comment section down below, and as soon as they come out, we're gonna send a T-shirt out to you. So that you have that. So anyway, first 25 people that do that tonight after tonight's show, and we'll probably do it into tomorrow. But tonight's show, $17.76. Do that, donate. That's great. These are the kind of people that we need to have come on board and do these kind of things. $17.76 gets you a T-shirt, and I will get that out to you as soon as they come out, which is not that far away. So that's all we need to do. So, and then of course I'm on again tomorrow, and it's always great to be on. But any words there, Maurice? Any other things to say?
I just want to say, y'all, to everybody, we in a critical time right now, y'all, and we need to just really focus on real problems that's going on. We need to focus, and I just want everybody to try not to lose your focus, because like I always said about the new order, you know what I'm saying, about things are eventually going to happen, but God have allowed Trump to be in this office to prepare us, and at the end of the day, that's God preparing us. He's preparing us about what's about to happen, and so what's about to happen is going to happen, but God allowed Trump to come in his office for us to be prepared. He's a vessel. That's all I have to say.
100% on board with that, and me too. So God is helping me be here, talking with you, talking with Maurice, so that we can get the message out there to you, to make sure that one of the things we do is not only bring God back into the government, but bring God back into the schools. So Amen. That's what has to happen. We are missing that. That component has been lost over not only 8 years, but it's been fading away, and that's a problem. Yes. So all our kids, we were brought up with having God around us. It doesn't matter what religion you have, if you're Jewish or Christian, Catholic, whatever. We brought up with God around us, and that's the way it was been. And it's been flushed out from us because of what the politics that's come this way. We're done. Maurice and I are done with that. We want God back in. We want to make sure that just like he said, that Donald J. Trump is there because God decided to put him there. We are here, and that's what needs to happen in the future. So make sure you stay tuned with us, stay tuned with Maurice, touch base with him, go like his page, go look at him, see what's going on with him. He's a great guy. He's a true patriot, and me too. And so this is what we're here for. So I want to thank you so much for coming on with me tonight, Maurice.
Hey,
That was
thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it.
You're a fantastic gentleman, and it was my privilege and an honor to be talking with you. So anyway, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. And God bless.
All right.